Yo, what's cracking everyone? Ericship 111 here. So we are now in the final week of Forza Horizon 5's Series 45 Horizon Worlds Takeover, and I'm actually happy to see the Lancia Delta S4 available to earn for 20 points through this revised weekly playlist, as it is a car that I need in my car collection. So thank you, Playground Games. This week will also likely be the last time that we'll get to see this special Horizon Worlds outpost, so make sure to snap as many photos as you can in this location, as I highly doubt that we'll see this particular series update being chosen again. Which then leads me to Series 46. Ladies and gentlemen, the Horizon community has spoken, and it turns out that you all want the Cinco de Mayo update to return, which was originally first seen back in Series 7, as opposed to the Upgrade Heroes update that appeared much later during the game's life. Remember, Series 46, which will begin on April 24th, isn't just for Xbox and PC players. We have essentially indirectly chosen the very first festival playlist in which PS5 users will experience once the game officially launches, whether it's on April 25th for Premium Edition owners or April 29th for standard users. So if you are a PlayStation 5 player who is eagerly waiting to play what is arguably the most popular open world racing title period, I just hope that we have chosen the right series playlist for you guys to explore, which I actually think we have. Now, because Forza Horizon 5 is launching on the PlayStation very soon, I'm going to expect that some PS5 users who have never played this game before will be watching, so throughout today's video, not only will I cover what are the cars and content available to unlock for Series 46, but I will also drop certain tips for PlayStation users, as the festival playlist can be quite daunting at first, and we'll also take a deeper dive into the upcoming free content update known as Horizon Realms. So, in order to actually access the festival playlist, which can be seen in your menus, all you gotta do is fill the accolade bar on the top right a couple of times, which can be done by completing expeditions featured in the Horizon Adventure section, or complete these steps which have been outlined by Playground Games themselves. Now, even though this looks quite confusing when written down, I can promise you, just play the game and it will naturally guide you towards unlocking the festival playlist. So once we finally gain access to the playlist, this is the menu screen you will be greeted with. Now, I'm currently using the screenshots from the original Cinco de Mayo update from Series 7, as the revised playlist for Series 46 has not officially been released yet. However, most of the rewards and challenges will remain the exact same, with the exception of a few which Playground Games have already revealed and I'll highlight in this video. So this is the original overall series reward page for the month. As you can see, there are two reward cars. One is worth 80 points, while the other is worth 160. Now, for the upcoming Series 46, the reward cars will be slightly different to what we see right now. For 80 points, instead of the Ferrari SF90, it will be replaced with the Ferrari 599 GTO, which is a vehicle that can't be purchased directly from the auto show with the normal credits you earn in-game, and can only be obtained either by unlocking it, whether it's available as a reward through the festival playlist, or by exchanging it with a Horizon Backstage Pass, which I'll explain in more detail later on in this video. And for 160 points, it would now be the 1969 Ferrari Dino 246 GT that is up for grabs, which again is another car that is not available to purchase through the auto show, however can be obtained through a wheel spin, which is something you get pretty often anytime you play the game. So how does one earn points for the festival playlist? Well, each monthly series, there are 4 separate weekly playlists, which is represented by the seasons of the year. Usually it's always summer for week 1, autumn for week 2, winter for week 3, and spring for week 4. Now, for Series 46, this will be no different. So, for week 1, this will be the weekly playlist. Again, much like the overall monthly playlist we showed earlier, there will be 2 main rewards that each player can earn, except you only have 7 days to unlock these weekly rewards before they expire. For 20 points, just ignore the Ferrari 250 GT as it will be replaced with the Ferrari SF90, and for any PS5 users wanting this car, I highly recommend unlocking this as there's no other way of obtaining this car as of this moment. Sure, the SF90 may pop up in the auction house, which some of you guys have probably heard of, but from experience, any vehicles that are not available to purchase directly from the auto show or is a Horizon Backstage exclusive, they rarely pop up in the auction house, and even when they do, there's players that just snipe them straight away. And for 40 points, instead of the Ford Mustang, a Horizon Backstage Pass will be available to unlock. Now, the reason why you want a Horizon Backstage Pass is so that you can exchange it for a rare car that can't be purchased using normal in-game credits. These are often cars that were introduced after the launch of Horizon 5 through a monthly or weekly playlist and have slowly made its way back permanently into the game for players to obtain. The Horizon Backstage shop is currently growing at 2 cars per week based on the community's vote, and eventually all the timed exclusive festival playlist cars that were introduced throughout the entire life of Horizon 5 will appear here. Now, be mindful that you can only use 1 backstage pass per vehicle, and players are limited in obtaining 2 Horizon backstage passes a week. So to accumulate points is very easy. There are a bunch of events you can do throughout the week. Each of them will show the amount of points you will earn, and that's pretty much it. Each event will also have individual rewards, whether it's a super wheel spin, another vehicle, but they're often cars you can purchase directly through the auto show using your traditional in-game credits, or clothing items. I mean, there's plenty of things you can unlock. Now, I won't go through how each individual events work for this video, but earning both 20 and 40 points for this week is pretty easy. And remember how I said that there are 2 ways to collect a Horizon Backstage Pass? Well, the other method is by completing the Forzathon weekly and daily challenges, as well as the treasure hunt where you can see another form of currency called Forzathon points. This currency is used specifically for items that are available in the Forzathon shop, and there will always be a backstage pass you can purchase for 1,000 Forzathon points. There are also other things like cars, emotes, and clothing items you can purchase too. Another way to collect additional Forzathon points is by entering these Horizon Arcade events out in free roam, which look like this. These events appear every 15 minutes, but aren't necessarily tied to the festival playlist. So now that you have a quick rundown of how the festival playlist works, let's move over to week 2. For 20 points, instead of the Ferrari California T, Playground Games will replace it with the 2002 Ferrari 575M Maranello, which again is a vehicle that can't be purchased directly through the auto show with normal in-game credits, however is currently available in the Horizon Backstage shop. So if you decide that you don't want to complete 20 points during week 2, well, if you have a Horizon Backstage Pass, then you can directly exchange one for a 575M Maranello. But personally, I would just unlock the car for 20 points and save the Backstage Pass for something cooler. And of course, for 40 points, we also have another Horizon Backstage Pass available up for grabs. Here are more screenshots of some of the events you can expect for week 2. Moving on to week 3, for 20 points, instead of the Ferrari 512 Testarossa, it will now be replaced with the 2020 Ferrari F8 Tributo. All I can say is definitely unlock this car if you can, as it can't be obtained anywhere else at the moment, unless it shows up as an option for players to vote for so that it does appear in the Horizon Backstage sometime during Series 46. but I wouldn't rely on the game's RNG element, especially if you want this car. And of course, for 40 points, once again, another Horizon Backstage Pass is available to unlock. Here's a quick look at the other events that you can expect during week 3. Now, there is one particular event that I would highly recommend you all try to complete, and that is this one here called the Sienna Annual River Run. Anytime you see Event Lab at the top, this means that this race was selected by Playground Games and was made by a member of the Horizon community using the Event Lab feature, which I won't get into right now, but basically this is a UGC race. And the reason why I say to complete this particular event is because the reward is the Mercedes CLK GTR Forza Edition, which is basically a souped up version of the standard variant with a unique look. These Forza Edition cars can't be purchased directly through the auto show and appear mainly as a wheel spin reward. So whenever you see an FE or a Forza Edition car available to unlock through an event like this or in the Forzathon shop, I would certainly try and snatch one quickly. I will say though, if you do miss your chance, Forza Edition cars do show up in the auction house quite often, which only uses your traditional in-game credits. However, they can be quite expensive. And for the final week, for 20 points, instead of the Ferrari F8 Tributo, which has now of course been moved to week 3, it will now be replaced with the Ferrari California T. Again, another car that can't be purchased directly through the auto show using normal credits, and is currently not available in the Horizon Backstage shop. I would certainly recommend unlocking this car for week 4. This car is also unique in a sense that it's one of a few handful of cars that has a proper convertible animation. Therefore, you can free roam with or without the roof on. And of course, for 40 points, another Backstage Pass is available to acquire. Here are some of the remaining events you can expect for week 4. Now, should you do the bare minimum by collecting 20 points each week, you will then unlock the monthly reward that was shown earlier, which was of course the Ferrari 599 GTO. Or should you complete more events, you will also likely unlock the 160 point reward, which is the 1969 Ferrari Dino. So that is pretty much the basics of what you need to know and which important rewards to unlock for Series 46 Festival playlist, especially for PS5 players who have just reached level 10. And now let's take a closer look at the additional free in-game update known as Horizon Realms, which also goes live on April 25th. So, over on Forza's official YouTube channel, they uploaded a more in-depth video including exclusive gameplay as to how the Horizon Realms update will work. Basically, there will be 12 different locations in which players can dive into, 11 of which are evolving worlds that were previously featured as part of a monthly festival playlist update, while one is brand new for all players to explore for the first time ever, which is another racetrack at the stadium. There will be 2 ways in which players can experience all of these Horizon Realms. The first is skill mode, where you simply just bank as much skill score within a certain time limit. Judging by one of the new gameplay footage, it looks as if there's at least over 4 minutes and 30 seconds of time available for each run. I'm going to assume we might get a time limit of around 5 minutes, because anything beyond that I believe would be too long. All of your scores will be recorded for that particular Horizon Realms leaderboard, as well as an overall leaderboard with all of your skill scores combined across the 12 different realms. The second mode is simply free mode, where you can visit all the different realms by yourself or in a convoy of 11 players and simply explore at your own pace. On top of that, there will also be a new group of accolades to unlock, which some will include Forzathon points to earn for the first time ever, as well as 4 new to Horizon cars to unlock, which include the Hennessy Mammoth 6x6, the Lamborghini Rialto, the Lamborghini Huracan Storato, and the Lotus Exige Cup 430. There will also be new badges to unlock, which you can put next to your gamer tag, and I can't wait to see how this new Horizon Realms update all pans out. So there we have it, guys. That is pretty much everything you need to know about Series 46. Hopefully some of you PlayStation 5 users will find today's video helpful. Please make sure to smash a thumbs up button, as it really does help me out. And of course, if you guys would like to stay updated with everything Forza Horizon related, be sure to subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.